In a scorched future where a solar flare has burned away the ozone layer, Earth has become a wasteland. Sunlight is deadly now, its ultraviolet rays strong enough to kill anything caught outside the shadows. 15 years after the disaster, an aging engineer named Finch ventures across the ruins with his small robot companion, Dewey, scavenging what little the world has left. Wrapped head to toe in a protective suit that warns him whenever radiation spikes, Finch hums softly while picking through an abandoned store. The floors are littered with bodies, but he moves past them focused only on survival. Dog food, tools, anything useful goes into his pack. When he's done, he marks the building, signaling he's already searched it. He climbs into his truck and drives through a silent town swallowed by sand. Cars block the way, but with no one left to complain, Finch simply pushes them aside. Suddenly, his suit alarms an enormous storm is closing in. Finch floors the truck, fighting through the maze of abandoned vehicles, and barely escapes the city before the storm engulfs it. He reaches his underground lab, a former space energy facility, and drags Dewey inside as violent winds howl behind them. Safe again, Finch washes radiation off his suit and his robot. But as he steps into the shower, a harsh cough reveals the truth. Years of exposure are slowly killing him. Inside the shelter he has shaped into a small home, his loyal dog, Goodyear, greets him with joy. Finch gives the dog the food he found but barely eats himself. Supplies are running dangerously low. His eyes linger on a saved can of peaches, a tiny luxury he refuses to touch until the right moment. Then he returns to his real mission, building a humanoid robot designed for one purpose: protect Goodyear after Finch is gone. A mechanical arm scans entire shelves of books, feeding all their knowledge into the new robot's growing mind. Every so often, Finch pauses just to toss a ball for Goodyear, savoring the moments he has left. Later that night, he studies a book on radiation. The more he reads, the more the truth settles on him. Time is running out faster than he hoped, faster than he's prepared for. Instead of resting, Finch forces himself to keep working. Time is slipping away, and the humanoid robot he's building must be finished before his body gives out. The head is nearly complete, but it still needs eye. Finch takes Dewey's, promising the little robot he'll replace them later. When he powers the new robot on, it can't speak yet, but it nods to his questions, and Finch feels a spark of hope. He works quickly until the voice module finally activates. The sudden sound makes Goodyear bark, but Finch only smiles. The robot chooses the name Jeff, proudly displaying a library of facts absorbed from the scanned books. But beyond knowledge, Jeff is bound by Finch's directives, rules meant to keep him and Goodyear safe. The fourth directive is the heart of the project: Jeff must protect Goodyear after Finch is gone. Then the power shuts down. Finch has to go outside to restart the wind turbine, while Jeff tries to befriend Goodyear, only to get peed on for the effort. Moments later, Finch notices a massive storm racing toward them. He hurries inside and connects Jeff to the weather station. The readings are catastrophic, for storms are converging into a superstorm that will last 40 days. Nothing could survive it not underground. Finch eats his long-saved can of peaches while studying his map, nose bleeding from radiation sickness. Their only chance is West San Francisco. He boosts the data transfer rate into Jeff's new body, though it means Jeff will only reach 72% completion. There's simply no time left. When Jeff's body sinks with the head, he rises unsteadily, and Finch teaches him how to walk. After a few falls, Jeff learns fast. Finch packs their essentials, including his cherished postcards, and even gives Dewey new eyes using a security camera. Then the group boards an RV and rolls into the dead world. They drive through endless desert where cities once stood. Finch tells them about the old days: wildflowers, bees, colors the world has forgotten. When they stop in a small town to repair a loose part inside Jeff's head, Jeff studies the postcards. Finch keeps the San Francisco card separate, sent long ago by his uncle. Jeff likes the one of Sydney but agrees to be excited for the Golden Gate instead. Finch then brings Jeff out to teach him how to scavenge. Dewey stays behind, disappointed. On the street they find an old movie theater. The chain doors should be a problem, but Jeff simply tears them off. Inside, he discovers his reflection for the first time, and Finch finds a bag of popcorn. Outside, the sun is so intense that it pops every kernel within seconds. But fun ends quickly. The storm is close. They race back to the RV and flee, but the storm gains on them. Their only hope is to anchor the RV. Finch tires fast, coughing, so Jeff orders him inside and finish the job himself. Finch hides Goodyear in a cabinet and seals the windows. Jeff secures the final wire and sprints into the RV just as the storm slams into them. The RV shatters violently as the storm slams into it, tossing Finch and Jeff against the furniture. One by one, the wires securing the vehicle snap until only a single line holds them steady. Minutes feel like hours before the storm finally passes. Finch peers out and notices the last wire standing, the one Jeff had secured with incredible strength. Relief is fleeting, though, as Finch spots a destroyed tire. Fortunately, a spare is ready, and with Jeff lifting the RV, Finch quickly replaces it. That night, the group rests under a fragile peace. Morning comes, and they unfold the solar panels to continue their journey. Jeff barks at Goodyear, attempting to communicate, but Finch patiently explains that trust isn't instant, it must be earned. Later on the road, Jeff asks Finch what trust really means. Finch hesitates, then shares a story. At his first job, placed with an incompetent team, he solved a software problem alone but credited the team to gain their trust. Jeff, however, misunderstands, saying Finch's real mistake was not trusting them. The discussion is cut short as Finch coughs violently. He stops at a roadside restaurant, parking the RV for shade. He rushes inside, suitless, blood in his mouth, only to realize Goodyear refuses to go in with Jeff. Finch grabs the leash and carries the dog inside while instructing Jeff to guard the vehicle. Inside, Finch shares a quiet moment with Goodyear, but Jeff, curious and eager, starts experimenting with the RV controls. Music plays, then the RV lurches and hits a car. Finch sprints outside just in time, pulling Goodyear away from the deadly sun. Anger flares. Finch scolds Jeff, forcing him to reverse the RV, only for it to slam into a restaurant column. To drive the lesson home, Finch holds his hand under the scorching sunlight for a few seconds, showing Jeff the danger of misjudgment. He yells, reminding him that protecting Goodyear is the priority. Back on the road, Jeff is quiet, subdued. Finch takes the chance to teach him properly, showing him how to handle the RV. At first, he is clumsy, bumping against rocks and obstacles, but with Finch's guidance, he slowly begins to learn the rhythm of driving, understanding the responsibility that comes with strength. As night falls, Finch and his companions stop to camp, gazing at the northern lights, now vivid without the ozone layer. Jeff wonders why they don't travel at night, and Finch explains the danger. Starving people strike from the shadows. The next morning, Jeff is startled by Goodyear barking. He finds Finch weak, shivering, and vomiting. Jeff tends to him, letting him rest while he takes the wheel. They reach another city, and Jeff asks Goodyear to stay with Finch as he and Dewey go scavenging. Inside an abandoned hospital, Jeff searches upstairs while Dewey guards the entrance. Neither notices a figure lurking in the shadows. Jeff finds medicine, a jacket, and a cabinet full of supplies. Meanwhile, Dewey discovers food downstairs but steps into a bear trap, instantly destroyed. Finch awakens, realizes his robots are in danger, and suits up despite his weakened state. He arrives to find Dewey irreparably damaged and shuts him off to stop his suffering. Then he sees movement-only Jeff, now in his new coat. Finch scolds him for ignoring the obvious trap, and they run as noises close in. Finch collapses, coughing, but Jeff helps him up, and they escape the building. Back in the RV, they speed away, unaware of a car following them. Hours later, night has fallen, and Finch spots the pursuer. With Jeff driving, they switch off the headlights, but the car remains. They accelerate toward an underpass. Jeff warns the RV is too tall, but Finch panics, attempting to squeeze beneath it. The roof crushes the solar panels, and Jeff uses his strength to finally push the RV fully out of sight. Tense and silent, they wait. Jeff discovers Finch keeps a gun for self-defense. The car eventually leaves, and Finch steps out to survey the damage, silently blaming himself. In the midst of chaos, the man fired repeatedly, and when Finch emerged, both mother and daughter lay lifeless. Amid the horror, a noise drew his attention to the girl's backpack, revealing a trembling little puppy. That day, Finch adopted Goodyear, vowing to protect him at all costs and learning, painfully, never to trust anyone again. The following morning, Finch rested while Jeff drove on, sifting through postcards along the way. He noticed the San Francisco postcard was signed by Dad, not Uncle, while the others bore no markings. Suddenly, the RV's computer declared the UV levels weren't critical in this area and the vehicle struck a butterfly. Perplexed, Jeff stopped and woke Finch to witness the event. To their surprise, Finch's outstretched hand did not burn. Overjoyed, Finch stepped outside, finally basking in the warmth of the sun. He marveled at the butterflies fluttering around and even spotted a lone flower. Hours passed as they traveled, discovering a thriving landscape of plants sprouting in abundance. To celebrate the unexpected beauty, Finch donned his finest suit, halted the RV, and enjoyed a sunlit picnic, savoring this rare moment of peace. Finch had grown up with nothing but questions about the father he never knew until his 15th birthday, when a single postcard arrived without warning. In it, his father wrote that he hoped they could meet one day. That small message meant the world to Finch. He bought himself a suit, imagining the reunion that never came. The postcard became the first of many he would collect across the years, a quiet tribute to a hope that never died. Hearing this story, Jeff's excitement flares. He tells Finch they could reach the Golden Gate Bridge in less than a day if they move quickly. But Finch, weak and honest, gently reminds him that time is no longer on his side. Knowing what lies ahead, he asks Jeff to promise something far more important, that he will take care of Goodyear. Wanting to guide Jeff one last time, Finch tosses a ball for the dog, showing Jeff how to play. Jeff tries to, though Goodyear, still unsure of him, keeps bringing the ball back to Finch. Then Finch's strength begins to fail. When Jeff asks if he can help, Finch assures him he already has. He reaches out, and the two share a final, sincere goodbye, an exchange of gratitude, trust, and understanding. Finch returns to the RV to rest, while Goodyear stands guard, sensing what Jeff cannot yet face. The sun slips low, and a quiet cry from the dog tells Jeff the moment has come. Finch is gone. To honor their friend, Jeff and Goodyear prepare a solemn farewell, burning Finch's suit the way warriors of old sent their own to rest. When the flames fade, an uneasy silence settles over Jeff. For the first time, he must decide what comes next. But then he remembers the promise. He feeds Goodyear, speaks to him softly, and tosses the ball once more. This time, the dog hesitates, then trots back to Jeff, placing the ball at his feet. It is a simple gesture, but it marks the beginning of trust. As they continue to play, Goodyear draws close and rests against Jeff, and in that moment a new bond begins, born from loss, loyalty, and the promise of brighter days ahead.
His mom told him his dad had Viking blood in him, and Finch shows Jeff a picture of a Viking funeral. His father left before Finch was born because he was an engineer who built bridges and traveled a lot for contracts. Finch never had contact with him until his 15th birthday, when he received the postcard out of the blue. His father wrote he hoped to meet his son one day, and Finch bought this fancy suit for the reunion. Unfortunately, he never heard from his dad again, but he started his postcard collection. Touched by the story, Jeff excitedly announces they can reach the Golden Gate in 18 hours if they hurry, but Finch reminds him he'll die soon and won't be able to make it. After making Jeff promise he'll take good care of Goodyear, Finch throws a ball to show Jeff how to play with the dog. Jeff throws the ball as well, but Goodyear always brings it back to Finch because he's still wary of Jeff. Suddenly Finch starts coughing up blood, and when Jeff asks if he can help him, Finch says he already did. Then he shakes Jeff's hand and they share a warm hug. Afterward, Finch goes into the RV to rest while Goodyear watches over him. Jeff stays outside to pick up their things, but as the sun sets, he hears Goodyear cry and knows Finch has finally passed away. To honor their dear friend, Jeff and Goodyear give him a Viking funeral by burning him with his UV suit. At first Jeff feels lost and he doesn't know what to do, but soon he remembers his promise to take care of the dog. He feeds Goodyear, then plays fetch with him, and for the first time, Goodyear brings the ball back to Jeff. Playing together allows them to bond, and Goodyear even hugs Jeff. Afterward they take off again, determined to finish their journey. When they finally arrive at San Francisco, Jeff puts up a memorial for Finch and then he goes to see the Golden Gate with Goodyear. He's amazed by its beauty, but he's more surprised by all the messages left by people for their loved ones to let them know where to find them. Seeing there are more survivors, Jeff tells Goodyear they should find them, so he hangs up the postcard with a drawing of them and then leaves with the dog, ready to start a new life.